6 of 6.
Well, and a good opportunity to score points while the clock is not running down, which is right now obviously the enemy to CR, the clock, running down and obviously, making things more and more difficult for them as Benton knocks down both and makes it a 9-point game. But again, CR needs to get stops here. They need to get stops, and when they get stops, they need to push the ball in transition and try to get easy buckets.
Well, Holly Bishop there doing his best defensive back impersonation, deflecting that Hail Mary down the court as Holly Bishop fires up an air ball, rebounded by the Roadrunners. 2:05 on the game clock, a 9-point Butte lead, 68-59. Butler, uncontested all the way to the rim. Easy finish for him, 21 points for Mazen Butler, and an 11-point CR lead. Shaquille Jones, three-pointer from the near wing is no good. Rebound by Butte, 70-59. The Roadrunners on top by 11, about a minute 40 remaining. Timeout taken down on the court. Full timeout by the Roadrunners as they want to go over their game plan for this last minute 40 seconds, which is, okay, fellas, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that last shot that Jones missed there could have might have been the dagger in this game. CR now down by 11 with only a minute 40 left, and Butte having control of the ball. If CR wants to get back in this game, they'll have to foul at some point. But just, again, not enough consistency offensively for CR to have any chance to win this game. They don't have a consistent scoring threat. They have just not knocked down any outside shots today at all, I think, other than maybe two. I think Jones has a three, and I think Ingersoll has a three, and I think that's it. So 2 3-pointers is not going to get the job done either. They've done a good job of getting to the free throw line, but at the same time not making hardly any of their free throws other than Benton. So, again, you can go back and look at a lot of different things for CR. Missed free throws, missed layups, not boxing out. You can name probably any one thing that can contribute to this, but I think ultimately for me it just comes down to lack of focus, because you have to focus to hit these shots. You have to focus on free throws to make them. You have to focus on boxing out. You have to know where the closest man is and go put a body on him and box out. And you have to focus on defense. And CR, it just had too many lapses and just let too much time and too many things happen for them to have a chance to win this game. And that's ultimately, in my mind, what's led to this score being what it is and CR being down 11.
About 90 seconds to go, and the Corsairs trailing by 11 points. Randolph dumping it out to Butler. 13 seconds on the shot clock. The Roadrunners want to try to utilize them all. Butler, deep two-pointer, stepping up in rhythm, drilling that one. 23 points for Mazen Butler, and a 13-point lead for the Corsairs, 72-59. The leading scorer for CR is Chuck Benton, who's got 16 points off the bench. He's 8 of 8 from the free throw line, as Ingersoll missing wide right on that three-point attempt. Offensive rebound and put back by Jalen Coney, 12 points for him. But it's not going to be enough for the Corsairs, who are once again going to come up short here at home. They trail by 11 right now, about 50 seconds to go. Justin Miller working against Darius Jones. The Corsairs in danger of dropping to 2-7 in the Golden Valley Conference, and it looks like that is going to be the case as another foul called against the Corsairs. Looked like it might have been against Jalen Coney, and it is. That's his third personal, 8th team foul against CR. As heading to the free throw line is Ural Black. He's already got 10 points in this ball game.
Yeah, and it's disappointing. I mean, it's going to be another loss for CR. Another situation where they just didn't have enough offensive firepower to withstand Butte's runs. Every time CR has made a run to get back in the game, Butte has made a run to gain control, and Butte really has never relinquished this lead this entire game. I mean, they came out of the gates. They CR came out, hit a couple shots right away, but Butte basically took control around the 15 to 10-minute mark of that first half and really hasn't looked back. It really hasn't even been in question. They've been comfortable for the most part. Again, CR cut it to 5 twice, but as soon as they cut it to 5, Butte would come back and go on a 5-6-0 run of their own to take another double-digit lead. So just never able to really sustain anything or really put anything together for a long period of time with CR today.
CR only had 24 points at the end of the first half. They put together a better offensive second half. but nowhere near where they need to be as they trail by 11, 72-61. With this win, Butte is going to improve to 5-3 in the Golden Valley Conference, 11-11 overall. Redwoods is going to drop to 2-7 in the GVC, 6-18 overall. So it's been a tough year for the Corsairs, and things not getting any easier here today as CR trying to get off one of its final shots. Shaquille Jones all the way to the rim. Easy finish for him, but a little bit too little, too late for the Corsairs. 15.9 seconds on the game clock. CR is not going to foul. They trail by 9. So that is going to do it. The Corsairs come up short once again here at home. Drop to 2-7 in the GVC, 6-18 overall. They're going to finish out the year on Wednesday as they take on Shasta, another top echelon team in the GVC. None of these teams, though, they're all right around the 500 mark with the exception of Feather River, the only team well above 500 at 15-10 on the season. Feather River 7-2 in first place, but they got a couple of trailers in Shasta 6-2 and Butte now at 5-3. The Roadrunners not out of it just yet. The GVC still in contention as a few teams. 7.5 to go here in this first half. 2-point try, Terrence Edwards. The far corner is no good. But a whistle and a foul against Bo Gastineau away from the ball on the rebound.
And Gastineau really didn't have an option there. It was either give up an easy layup or even possibly a dunk or get the foul and make him go to the free throw line and earn him. The only problem is that's number 2 on Gastineau, so he's got to be careful. Either Coach Moore is going to leave him in there or he's got to be careful he doesn't pick up number 3.
So on to the free throw line for the Roadrunners, Darius Jones. Was 2 for 2 before missing on that attempt. Now he's able to hit his second attempt. 3 points for Darius Jones and a 6-point Butte lead, 22-16, under 7.5 minutes to go here in this first. Justin Miller off the screen from Gastineau, losing the handle. Butler against him. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Slade with it now. Slade, the freshman out of Ferndale High School, ran the point for Ferndale. Very big-bodied point guard as Gastineau has it knocked away, and Slade is 1-on-4. The Roadrunners, Mazen Butler up with it, able to finish the layup. 12 points already for Mazen Butler as Gastineau at the other end. Spin move in the paint. 2-point try is no good, but a foul before the shot.
I actually felt like Slade played pretty good defense there. He got them to he got Butte to pass the ball really late. That was actually not a very good executed fast break by Butte. They got the ball way too deep in the paint with too many people, and Slade almost able to knock that ball away, but Butler was able to corral it and go up and make a really tough shot right in the middle of the paint. So a good job by him to finish on the offensive end. But again, CR, turning the ball over, not getting shots on offense, and they've just, very stale right now. 17 points through 14 minutes right now in this game. Just not going to cut it at this level. It's just not going to get it done. So they have to find somebody that with a little bit of offensive firepower here that's going to put the ball in the basket for them. They're just struggling right now.
Gastineau missing on that attempt. He's 3 of 4 from the line. That one rattles out by Tyler Randolph. Corsairs on the break. Shaquille Jones, scoop shot with the right. Whistle, offensive foul against the Corsairs. Jones not happy with it. Gastineau not happy with the call either. Talking to the referee, but the whistle goes against the Corsairs. So Shaquille Jones now hit with his second personal foul, 9th team foul. Each team with 9 fouls, 24-17, Butte leading, 6:31 on the game clock in this first half.
And I kind of agree with Jones and Gastineau there. I understand their frustration. They finally get out on the break and get a chance to get out and get an easy layup, and I felt like Jones did a good enough job to try to avoid the defender, and I didn't feel like the defender really made that great of an effort to really get in position to take the charge. He was there, but once Jones made his initial move to go to the basket, he just kind of stayed there, didn't really take the contact straight on. I thought Jones did enough to try to avoid him, and I thought it should have been a block or even a no call in that situation, but they hit Jones with the charge, which again, it's tough. That's the toughest call to make in basketball is that charge block call, but I think the officials might have missed one on that.
Slade at the top of the key, whistle away from the ball, and another illegal screen. This time goes against the Corsairs. It's going to be on Shaquille Jones, and a head down walking back to the other end because he knows Coaches aren't very happy with him, and he's going to have to take a seat with 3 personal fouls. And that has been his Achilles heel this season for Shaquille Jones, has been foul trouble. He's been unable just to stay a reliable player out on the court for CR because he gets so aggressive sometimes, committing some questionable fouls as he did there just on the illegal screen. And Mora up off his seat quickly here at the near sideline, chirping at the officials as well. And that's something that these CR coaches love to do. Both Oliveira and Coach Mora, they love to let the officials know about it.
Oh, yeah.
Every coach has a different style or different approach to coaching, what they like to do on the court. Well, both Mora, as Gastineau has his shot blocked, Terrence Edwards skying for that block. Roadrunners on the break now in the near corner. It's Tyler Randolph. Passing it around, Terrence Edwards now, Josh Rolls Tyson.
Yeah, but, touching on your point again, Coach Oliveira, his go-to move, the hands on the head, mouth wide open, eyes big, every time he can you believe that call? Hands on the head, eyes big, mouth open. Mora's more of a hands on the hips, frown on his face, tilts his head to the side and kind of lets the officials know, like, really, are you kidding me, really? So both coaches like to chirp at the officials. Like you said, both coaches have their own way of kind of doing it, their own unique way of letting the officials know whether they like the call or they don't. But, again, just two guys, as far as Oliveira and Mora are concerned, 2 guys that love the game of basketball, love the teams that they have, love the players, love the energy, and give nothing less than 150% every time they're on the floor, whether it's practice or a game. So CR couldn't have 2 better coaches in their basketball programs right now.
Well, Gastineau started 3 for 3 from the free throw line, but since then he's missed his last 2. 24-17 Butte leading, make that 24-18 as Gastineau now 6 points on the afternoon. About 5 minutes to go here in this first half. Both teams with 10 team fouls, so there's been lots of fouling here early on. Terrence Edwards' deep 2-pointer is no good. Offensive rebound. Bobby Lombardi into the game for the Roadrunners. Lombardi on the putback is fouled, so he'll head to the free throw line.
This game has been pretty physical early on. I don't want to use the word sloppy, but there have been times where it seems like it's a little sloppy. There'll be turnover on one end, turnover on the other end, turnover on the other end. A lot of missed free throws so far in this game. Not really a greatly played first half up until this point, but again, Butte doing just enough on the offensive end to hold this slim 7-point advantage late in the first half.
Lombardi's second free throw attempt is good. A 7-point Roadrunner lead, 25-18, under 5 minutes to go in this first half. Ingersoll into the ball game. Stop. 2-point try is no good. Rebounded and then kicked out to Gastineau. Gastineau now through the lane trying to dump it off to Benton. Benton tracking it down. Now looking for help. Finds Miller on the skip pass. Gastineau 3-pointer from the far corner. No good. Rebound pulled down by the Roadrunners and a whistle. And another foul and a couple free throw attempts coming up here for Butte. The foul is on Slade.
Very physical, just very physical, and CR just kind of, Gastineau I thought should have went up for that shot. He tried to dump it to Benton. Benton wasn't ready for it. The ball rolls to half court. They come back. They almost throw it away into the stands, trying to get it to Miller. Miller hits Gastineau. Gastineau takes a shot that looks like it's behind the backboard. I just don't understand this CR offense right now, and I know it's got to be frustrating to Coach Mora because he's a big execution, big X's and O's kind of guy. He likes to run a lot of set plays. He has a lot of set plays in his arsenal to try to get easy buckets, and I just don't. I understand his frustration as things aren't being executed as well as they should be, but at the same time, I don't understand this late in the season why an offense, should struggle this bad. You should know your plays by now, and you should know where the open man is going to be and where the ball needs to go. And it just seems like CR continually gets lost on the offensive end or just doesn't know where they're supposed to go with the ball.
Miller off the screen, finding Benton. Benton 3-point try. No good. A couple of Roadrunners there to pull in the rebound. Darius Jones, the one to come away with it. Past the 4-minute mark here in the first half. driving the lane up with the left. Euro Black, no good. Rebounded by Ingersoll. Ingersoll secures it and finds Miller on the break. Miller trying to get to the rim. Whistled for the offensive foul.
That's got to be the 4th offensive foul, I think, on CR so far in this first half, isn't it? I mean, that's got to be pretty close. I know Jones had one. I know Benton's had one. I think Gastineau's had one too, hasn't he? And now Miller has one. I mean, again, just not understanding how to control your body and your movement. I mean, Miller saw the defender standing there. He needed to just turn around or stop and get to a good jump stop and go up with the ball instead of trying to go through the defender. You just can't make those plays. You have to know better than that.
Well, timeout taken down on the court. 30-second timeout to give us a perfect opportunity to talk about the Redwoods Youth Basketball Association AAU League coming up. For all you youngsters at home who want to get involved here at College of the Redwoods or want to hone your basketball skills in the off-season, there's an AAU league coming up for you. Boys and girls, 5 divisions, 10 and under, 12 and under, 14 and under, junior varsity and varsity. It starts March 26th. So for all of you folks at home, want to get your youngsters involved playing some basketball, want to get them involved with these local players and local coaches, give assistant coach Barry Mendenhall a call at 476-4245 as a mental relapse by the Corsairs and a wide open dunk by Terrence Edwards. A breakdown in the defense out of the timeout there, really inexcusable.
Yeah, everybody seemed like they just kind of fell asleep on that one. I'm not really sure what happened. I don't know if CR thought that they had possession or what was going on, or they forgot which side of the floor they were supposed to play defense on, but everybody's standing on one side of the floor, and number 41, Terrence Edwards, standing all by himself underneath his own basket down there, an easy two-handed dunk.
You heard him kind of yelling, and then you hear the crowd yelling. Somebody guard him, and then you look up and you see that he's down there all by himself. Just a mental breakdown by the Corsairs defensively. No excuse for it out of the timeout especially.
No, it's too late. It's too late. Once people start yelling, it's too late. You get the ball, you throw it, it's an easy dunk. And this crowd, this crowd here at CR, it kind of deflated. I mean, there's just not a lot of energy in here. And I know it's frustrating for the men's program and Coach Mora because, I mean, Coach Mora is used to having big crowds at Ferndale and energetic. And again, there's just another lapse in defense, not talking on the screens, not switching when it's necessary, and again, just an inexcusable job right now by CR on offense and defense, which has allowed Butte to open up this 12-point lead.
And only 18 points for the Corsairs through the first 17 and a half minutes, so 1 point per minute's not going to get the job done in the Golden Valley Conference, as the Corsairs would finish with 40 points in this game. That would be their worst offensive performance of the year, which we saw on Wednesday against Siskiyou. The 53 points they finished with their second worst offensive performance this season. They had one game with 49 was their final score.
Right.
That was back in their third game of the season against Diablo Valley. Is another turnover here by the Corsairs. But CR with just 18 points through about 18 minutes here in this first half. Not a great start for CR.
Well, and they came out of the gate so quickly, too. They hit a three-pointer right off the bat, and they got another layup. They had leads early on. And they were able to, kind of be ahead early in this game. And since then, Butte has just really stormed, out of that effort, out of that early moments in that game, and is really kind of taking control and not really even look back right now as they go to the line with an opportunity to widen this lead to possibly 13, 14 points.
And to make matters worse, not only is the offense not working for the Corsairs, defensively, CR's now got its two guards in foul trouble. Shaquille Jones and Bo Gastineau each with 3 personal fouls. Gastineau still in the ball game as Jones retakes a seat at the scorer's table. The coaches sent him up to, I thought, replace Gastineau, but it looks like they're going to leave Gastineau out there with 3 fouls. But Slade and Coney each with 2, and Jones and Gastineau each with 3. So the Corsairs' offense isn't working, and their defense has been letting them down to this point as well. The Corsairs are in serious foul trouble as James Slade will check into the ball game now for Gastineau. They can't put Jones back in there to replace Gastineau because if Jones picks up his 4th, he's going to be in serious trouble for the second half. So CR kind of with his hands tied is now going to have James Slade running the point here with 2 minutes to go in this first half.
Yeah, and luckily for Mora, I mean, Slade's somebody that can do it. Slade's somebody that can do it. I mean, he played point guard all 4 years at high school over in Ferndale High. 1 year on the JVs, 3 years as a starter on varsity. So he knows how to play the point. He can do it. But I know for a fact that he has not played much point up until this point in this season because of Bo Gastineau being the normal starting point guard, and also Shaquille Jones handling the ball quite a bit for CR, as Slade has taken more of kind of a backseat role as more of an off guard and even post player at times. So we'll have to see how this kind of works out for CR here as James Slade being thrust into the point guard position in this game with the foul trouble to Gastineau and Jones.
CR just hasn't been able to pin down its problem this year, and part of the reason for that is that the problem is always changing. It's like if it's not one thing, it's another, and CR just constantly having to adjust and deal with issues as they come up, and it's always going to be the problem for any JC basketball team when you're dealing with the players that are only staying with your program for 2 years at the most, maybe 3 if you have a red shirt that's staying on, but you're constantly bringing in new faces and always adapting to the situations, and CR just has had a real difficult time this year figuring out what its deal is, especially offensively when they go on those scoring lulls. But defensively here today, if it's not being able to put the ball in the basket, it's foul trouble, and you can't have your best players out on the court because they can't pick up another foul.
Right. Yeah, and it's got to be frustrating for Coach Mora. I mean, he knows you have to have your best players on the floor. That's what gives you the best chance to win, is your best players on the floor, and just they have not been able to do it lately.
Benton doing a nice job getting to the rim. Russ Critchfield, Butte head coach, not happy with the call on that play. Thought there was an offensive foul on Benton. But Benton will be headed to the free throw line. A couple of attempts coming up here, and there's one of the strengths for Chuck Benton as well, as from the free throw line. We mentioned it for the Corsairs' first win of the season. They opened the year on a 5-game losing streak as Chuck Benton hits his first free throw. 3 points for him, 32-20, Butte with a 12-point lead. But after starting the year on a 5-game losing streak, their first home game in that Corsair Classic, an exciting one against Lane College, CR wins in overtime as Benton goes 19 of 25 from the free throw line, finishes with 36 points, 7 points of the school record as Jalen Coney able to finish on that missed free throw attempt, so an easy bucket for him, 3 points for Jalen Coney. But Benton was 6 points away from tying the school record here at CR for single points in a game, set by Isaac Gildea, as the deep 2-point try by Euro Black is no good. But we talked about it at the time of that being a potential season-changing game for Chuck Benton and for the Corsairs. It didn't exactly turn out to be that way after they started on a 5-game losing streak. They get that huge win, but it didn't really give them the momentum that you and I kind of hoped that it would, in the sense that it would kind of wake them up, give them the confidence they needed. As Chuck Benton, there he is driving along the baseline. Easy finish for him, 5 points.
Yeah, and you and I both talked about it at the time. We were hoping that it might be something that might springboard this team onto greater things, getting into league play, getting their freshmen adapted to playing at this level, and it just never really materialized for CR. They've just continued to struggle the rest of the year, really haven't been able to put together two halves of basketball very often, and when they do, it seems like there's always 2 or 3 minutes that end up hurting them and forcing them to be down late in the game and not able to pull out a win.
Euro Black, the easy finish. Miller at the buzzer, off the front of the rim and out. And just like the first half went for the Corsairs, not good offensively, as CR at the end of the first half trailing by 10, 34-24. So I'm sure one of their lower scoring halves this season, only 24 points, a little over a point or a minute, not going to get the job done. So your thoughts is, again, Butte leading by 10 here at halftime.
Again, the bottom line is that CR just struggling on the offense.
Scoring performance of the season. Hopefully Coach Mora had some words of inspiration for his team there at the halftime speech to try to rally some points out of them. However they can get them, they got to keep Shaquille Jones and Bo Gastineau on the floor, both players with 3 personal fouls, so they've got to be very careful here in this second half. But looking at the scoring, not much of it for CR here in this first half. Leading the way is Bo Gastineau with 6 points, 4 of them at the free throw line.
Yeah, and again, if I know Coach Mora, I'm sure, he's not one of those guys that'll really give you a good lashing or anything like that, but he'll definitely get intense. He'll get in your face. He'll let you know you're doing something wrong. And if I know Coach Mora, I'm sure that he got in his guys' face at halftime and said, hey, look, You know, this is ridiculous. You guys are too good to be playing like this and too good to be giving this kind of an effort. And, you know, we need somebody to step up and make a play. And, you know, is it going to be, you know, Jones? Is it going to be Miller? Is it going to be Benton? You know, who's going to step up in this second half for CR and score some points? Because 24 for a half is just not acceptable.
So we are underway here in the second half. Butte leading by 10, 34-24, leading the way. For Butte was Mazen Butler, the leading scorer, averaging 14 points a game. Has 10 at this point. He hit 2 threes in that first half. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Pump fake at the top of the key. Another one now dishing off was Mason Prowse, driving the lane. Tyler Randolph gets the friendly roll and the finish. His first basket of the game, 2 points for Tyler Randolph and a 12-point Butte lead.
Yeah, and that's got to be frustrating for Coach Mora because they had a good defensive possession there. They forced a tough shot, but weren't able to get the rebound, and then it ended up being an easy putback for Butte. So not a good way to start defensively for CR in the second half, being down 12 now.
19-17 on the game clock here in this second half. Slade handing off to Gastineau, who once again has 3 personal fouls, so he's got to be careful. Gastineau leaving it for Jones. Jones working along the painted area, finds Slade in the far corner. Gastineau with it now. Coney from the elbow, driving the rim, off the glass and in. Soft touch from Jalen Coney. 5 points for him. Officials timeout as they're going to take care of a wet spot on the floor. So 18:52 on the game clock here in the second half. A 10-point Butte lead, 36-26. Redwoods 2-6 in the Golden Valley Conference, 6-17 overall. They played a lot of close games for those 6 GVC losses, with the exception of an 18-point loss to Feather River. A wild pass from the Roadrunners. Darius Jones thrown out of bounds. It was intended for Tyler Randolph.
And I really like the style that CR has played. They came out in that early in that first half, and they were trapping in the backcourt and giving full court pressure. And right now to start the second half, they're trapping, and they get a turnover here. So CR really needs a bucket here offensively to cut this deficit inside of 10. And, you know, if they're going to have a chance to come back here in the second half, they really need to get a score here. I think it's very important.
Nice interior pass from James Slade to wide open Jalen Coney. Great anticipation there. Coney with the easy finish, 7 points for him, 8-point Butte lead. Slade nearly intercepting that pass, and now at the other end, Josh rolls Tyson to the rim, has his shot blocked out of bounds.
Yeah, great defensive effort there. Slade almost came across at half court and got the steal. He was just a step late, but again, a good start to the second half here so far for CR.
3-point try from the near corner is no good by Mazen Butler, but there for the easy cleanup job was Josh Rolls Tyson, rebound and the putback, and now Gastineau losing it out of bounds. Turnover by the Corsairs.
Yeah, and Coach Moore getting after his guys right now because they are not rebounding. Again, I said it was a good start to the second half for CR, and it has been. They've gotten a turnover. They've gotten 2 easy buckets. But, again, they're not rebounding on the defensive end. They have to do a better job of rebounding. They force tough shots, but when you force tough shots, you have to finish the play. You have to rebound. You can't stand around and wait for somebody else to get that rebound.
Now driving the baseline, contact, no whistle on the play, though Slade comes away with it. Slade in transition and passes ahead to Jones. Jones stutter step to the backboard, can't get the layup to fall. Whistle on the play is going to be against James Slade, number 23, his 3rd personal. So now 3 Corsairs with 3 personals, Jones, Gastineau, and Slade. 3 starters for the Corsairs in foul trouble. 17:40 on the game clock here in the second half. Butte still leads by 10, 38-28. Butte able to break the press, now sets up its offense as Darius Jones with the ball works from the top of the key. Rolls Tyson with it now, guarded by Slade. Backdoor play. Tyler Randolph underneath, can't get it to fall. Miller with the rebound, looking to push the tempo. 3-on-3, pull-up jumper from the elbow, no good. Gastineau flying in for the rebound. A lot of contact.
And Gastineau hit the floor pretty hard there. Looked like they're going to call a foul on number 22, Darius Jones of Butte, but Gastineau going in for the tip and kind of got undercut, it looked like a little bit. Very dangerous play. I'm glad he was able to land softly and not hurt himself, because he got undercut pretty good and hit the floor. And those are always scary moments when you go straight from the air to the floor with your feet not underneath you. So good thing that he ended up being all right.
Gastineau now 4 of 7. Make that 4 of 8 from the free throw line. So not a good day at the charity stripe for him, as the Corsairs slow to get back on defense. Slade, though, a good job by forcing the pass, as Miller has it taken away from behind. Still a 10-point Butte lead, under 17 minutes to go. Some sloppy basketball, though, being played by both teams at this point, as the action going back and forth. Now Dylan Ingersoll ready to check into the game, and he's going to replace Bo Gastineau.
Yeah, and CR, again, offensively, just still struggling right now to find any rhythm. They're just not sure, again, who's supposed to have the ball, who's supposed to take the shot, and nobody's really stepping up and being the leader when they need it the most right now.
2-point try, Tyler Randolph from the corner, no good. Rebounded by Slade. The Corsairs on the break. Slade faking the pass to Jones here at the near side and going to the hoop, drawing the foul. Foul is going to be against Josh Rolls-Tyson, his second personal, third team foul.
And that was one of the better box outs that CR had there on that effort. They had all 4 of their 5 guys were inside the paint boxing somebody out, and that allowed Slade to get that easy rebound, push the tempo, fake the pass to Jones, and then get a foul and get a chance to get to the free throw line and get easy points.
So the first point of the day for James Slade right there comes by way of the free throw. The Little 4 MVP last year out of Ferndale High School. Of course, helping Ferndale to Little 4 championship, as well as a NCS title in back-to-back years under Coach Justin Mora over there at Ferndale. Mora, who played at Fortuna High School, graduating in 1995. He was the Big 5 MVP. He went on to Cuesta Junior College in San Luis Obispo, where he starred, taking a scholarship to Grand Canyon University over in Phoenix, Arizona. He played there for 2 years. Then he became an assistant at Fortuna, where he was from 2000 to 2007. He took over as the head coach at Ferndale in 2008, as we have a steal by Jones. Jones all the way to the basket by himself. 6 points now for Shaquille Jones, and a 6-point Butte lead, 38-32. Mazen Butler with it now. Whistle and a full timeout taken by Butte head coach Russ Critchfield. But going back to talking about Coach Mora, after he took over for Ferndale back in 2008, his first year with the program, takes the team to the playoffs for the first time in over 30 years.
Yeah.
He wins the first North Coast Section Championship in school history the next season. Then he repeats that the following year, winning back-to-back NCS titles down at Ferndale. Very impressive what he was able to do with those Wildcats. He takes over as the first-year head coach here at College of the Redwoods, replacing Rich Mendoza, and he's done a tremendous job in his first year with the talent that he has on the floor. Of course, we talked about it on Wednesday. 5 players from the Corsairs that they had in their starting lineup, or not in their starting lineup, on their starting roster for the start of the season. 5 of those players, 3 of them who started the first game of the year, not on the team anymore. The Corsairs roster dwindling down to 9 players, which they have now. It's been a difficult year for CR. The Corsairs have been able to keep it together, though, under Mora and Mendenhall and Houseworth in there as well. But the 2 coaches, Mora and Mendenhall, paired so well, and that was kind of their scenario at Ferndale High School. Mora was the head coach, and Mendenhall was the kind of unofficial assistant, providing a lot of advice to Coach Mora and helping him in any way that he can, as Mendenhall, over 28 years of coaching, scouting, and recruiting experience here on the North Coast. Such a high IQ basketball guy. And when you talk about those 2 coaches and what they've been able to do here at CR and what they're building for in the future, trying to bring the same thing that the women's program has done this year, capture lightning in a bottle and really just kind of spark the program to try to build it on a consistent basis year in and year out. As hitting the 2-pointer is Tyler Randolph, 4 points for him.
Yeah, and again, Coach Mora, Coach Mendenhall, they've been coaching together for quite a while. Coach Mendenhall 1 year spent at Fortuna a few seasons ago. Him and Coach Mora talk quite frequently. Good friends, a lot of basketball knowledge between the two of them. I couldn't imagine sitting around the table and listening to those guys. As Dylan Ingersoll finally hits a three-pointer. That's a big bucket for Ingersoll. Hopefully get him going and bring this score back within 5. But, myself being a basketball coach, I'd love to sit around the table with Coach Mendenhall and Coach Moore, and I've had multiple opportunities to do that, and I've also had multiple opportunities to, while I was coaching at Ferndale, for the 4 years that I spent there, was the entire 4 years that Coach Mora was there. I was on the girls' side, he was on the boys' side. I had many a times I was able to stay and watch his practices, watch his game planning, watch how he prepared, and I just thought that he did such a tremendous job, and I was very excited and very happy to hear that he had gotten the job here at CR.
Following in on the dunk is going to be Ural Black, who came in, kind of didn't really have control of it, but he was above the rim and threw it down.
Yeah, he was able to get that tip in. That was a big play from Black. That was very athletic of him, too.
Whistle and a foul, and that was what we saw in the first half. Lots of team fouls between these both. Very scrappy group of players out on the court right now as Bo Gastineau back into the game, replacing Shaquille Jones. The foul is going to be against Mazen Butler, and that's going to be his third personal. Gastineau inbounds pass to Dylan Ingersoll, who hit the three-pointer on his last attempt. Now a steal by Butler. Roadrunners on the break, don't have numbers. Steal by Gastineau. Has it now crossing the half-court line. Gastineau behind the back has it taken away. Terrence Edwards on the break. He's already got one dunk. I saw his kind of leg give out there. I think he wanted to throw that one down too, but didn't get up high enough as Gastineau quickly. Roadrunners, the men about to tip off the women, a 30-point victory. An impressive all-around game. Kind of a slow start for the Lady Corsairs, but they came on strong and they didn't turn off the heat. They win by 30. They improved to 8-1 in the Golden Valley Conference. Just one game to go. They play at home against Shasta on Wednesday. If they can win that one, they guarantee themselves at least a share of their first GVC crown in 31 years. But the men now getting ready to tip off in kind of a different scenario as we go from the top of the GVC standings down near the bottom as the Redwoods Corsairs 2-6 in Golden Valley Conference play, 6-17 overall. It's been a struggle for the Corsairs this year. We talked a lot about it on Wednesday in the broadcast. A tough 2-point loss for CR against Siskiyous in that one. The Corsairs battled down to the end, and that has been their MO this season. They battle, but they lose the close games. They've got 5 of their 6 conference losses, all by 7 points or less. Yeah. They played nothing but close games in the GVC, but just can't seem to get over the hump down the stretch. We'll see if the Corsairs can do it today against a tough Butte Roadrunner team coming in 4-3 in the GVC standings, 10-11 overall. The Roadrunners about a half game out of the first and second place. Feather River and Shasta each with 2 losses, Butte with 3. So they're right there in terms of the GVC title hopes. If either of those teams fall off or if anyone slips, Butte hopefully will be right there to pick up the slack, but they got to get the job done here first against the Corsairs, so CR can still spoil the season for Butte here today with a victory. Kellen Maynard and Jackie Christensen here with you once again at College of the Redwoods. The Corsairs getting ready to take on Butte. Kellen, your thoughts about this matchup?
I think it's going to be a pretty even game. CR, all the teams in the GVC seem to be pretty much even with each other. From the sounds of it, obviously CR, 5 of their 6 losses coming by 7 points or less. So obviously, all the teams pretty evenly matched. The CR's biggest problem has just been on offense. They just get in too many lulls on offense. They can't seem to finish or make the big bucket when it matters. They don't really have that go-to scorer. Shaquille Jones kind of there. Justin Miller kind of close, but they just don't have that person that can take over the game and take good shots and make good plays happen. Not somebody that just forces shots up all the time, but it'll be interesting to see today, the matchup. I know it was close last time they played, and I think if CR comes out today and plays good defense and gets good execution on the offensive end, they'll be all right. The execution is going to be the key on the offensive end.
CR lost in overtime to Butte. Last time over in Chico, 72-68 was that final. So the Corsairs know they can play even with Butte. As I'm going to step aside for the national anthem, we'll get the starting lineups for you and be back with the opening tip-off. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the College of the Redwoods against Butte.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 2 of today's Golden Valley Conference doubleheader between the visiting Butte College Roadrunners and your College of the Redwoods Corsairs. Ladies and gentlemen, before we announce the starting lineups, please rise and remove your caps as we honor our country with the playing of our national anthem. And now, the starting lineup. First for the visiting Butte College Roadrunners, number 12, Mazen Butler. Number 14, Mason Prouse. Number 22, Darius Jones. Number 24, Tyler Randolph. And number 34, Josh Rolls Tyson. And now, your College of the Redwoods Corsairs. Number 3, Shaquille Jones. Number 4, Bo Gastineau. Number 10, Justin Miller. Number 23, James Slade. And number 25, Jalen Coney. Butte is coached by Russ Critchfield, assistant coach Colin Carr, and Nick Lonergan. Corsairs head coaches Justin Mora, assistants Barry Mendenhall and Ed Houseworth.
And the opening tip now just seconds away here at College of the Redwoods. The Corsairs getting ready to take on the Butte College Roadrunners. The second to last game of the season for this 2011-2012 Corsair roster under first-year head coach Justin Mora and assistant coach Barry Mendenhall and Ed Houseworth. Corsairs have had a tumultuous season to this point in the conference and overall. Again, 2-6 in the GVC, 6-17 overall as the opening tip goes way of the Roadrunners. So here we go. Corsairs trying to finish out the season strong here at home. Two-point try by Butte's Josh Rolls Tyson. No good on that attempt. Rebounded by the Corsairs. Shaquille Jones now crossing the half-court line, and the CR will set up on its first offensive series. Again, Coach Kellen Maynard and Jackie Christensen here with you at College of the Redwoods as you get a live look on this February 11th Saturday afternoon. Shaquille Jones in rhythm drains that three-pointer, his first basket of the game.
And a good way for CR to start. They had a good defensive possession, got a good rebound. They apply a little pressure here after Jones gets a three-pointer, get the steal, and CR looking good early on in this game. And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to be aggressive on defense. They're going to have to continue to knock down shots on offense. They can't go through 5, 6, 7-minute lulls where they don't score anything.
Backdoor pass intended for James Slade, a bit too strong. Turnover by the Corsairs, now stopping and popping, but no good on the shot is Mazen Butler, the leading scorer for the Corsairs. Justin Miller is going to get whistled for the travel before the three-point attempt. Miller, the three-point shooting leader for the Corsairs.
Yeah, that was really tough pass for Miller to handle there. Jones on the fast break spotted him in the corner. The pass was a little low. He had to kind of go down to get it and was not able to end up controlling the ball and ended up traveling. But again, a good start if you're CR and your coach Justin Mora. You got to like the energy. You got to like the defensive presence and the effort early on.
A little high-low post play. Interior pass intended for Josh Rolls-Tyson at the low block. Whistle and a foul against the Corsairs. First foul of this game is going to go against Bo Gastineau, his first personal, first team. The Roadrunners now will set up on the offensive end. They reset the shot clock after the foul. Rolls-Tyson three-pointer, and he drills it. So he's good on his second field goal attempt. Jones stepping in rhythm again to that three-pointer. A contested three, though. Can't get that one to fall. Battle for the rebound. Goes out of bounds. Last touched by the Roadrunners.
I like the energy and the effort that CR is putting forth right now early on in this game. They're really giving a good effort and making a concerted effort on the offensive end to get the open shot and take the open shot when it's there. Jones, two good looks at three-pointers here early on, and then right now trying to get the ball inside off this out-of-bounds play, trying to get themselves an easy bucket.
Justin Miller crossover dribble, creating a little space, deep two-pointer, but a good sign for the Corsairs as Miller steps into that one and drains it. 5-3, CR leading. Miller now with a steal, deflected it to Shaquille Jones. The Corsairs have numbers. Miller away from the defense, deep two-pointer, and he drains it again. And a whistle against the Corsairs on the play. It's on James Slade, number 23, his first personal foul. As we look at the starting five for the Corsairs, number 3, Shaquille Jones, a sophomore out of JF Kennedy High School. In the Oakland area, number 4, Bo Gastineau, a freshman out of Cloverdale High School. A whistle and a foul on the play before the shot is going to be on number 25, Jalen Coney, another starter for the Corsairs, a freshman out of Del Norte High School. James Slade, a freshman out of Ferndale. And Justin Miller, a sophomore out of Arcata. And the starting five for Butte College, as you look at the free throw line now, Darius Jones able to hit his first attempt. Makes the score 7-4 now, CR leading, but Mazen Butler, number 12, number 14, Mason Prouse, number 22, Darius Jones, number 24, Tyler Randolph, and number 34, Josh Rolls-Tyson. As that bucket is good, makes it 7-5 now. CR leading by 2, 17 minutes and a half to go here in this first half. There's another whistle and a travel called against Justin Miller.
Yeah, and, this is, not a bad start for CR here. They've come out of the gates really quickly. They've hit a three-pointer, and Miller's hit two long two-pointers to give him this early lead, but not the start that I've seen CR have in the last couple of home games. So a good sign for Coach Mora and his coaching staff. You have to be excited about the early energy that they have against Butte.
It was such a difficult loss for them against Siskiyou. That two-point loss really evident on the faces of first-year head coach Justin Mora and his players as well. They had just been blown out, and then their previous game was against Feather River over in Quincy. It was an 18-point loss as Jalen Coney hit with his second personal foul already. So Chuck Benton, a quick sub into the game to replace Coney. But coming off of that 18-point loss over in Quincy, really not a disheartening defeat. Sometimes it just happens. The shots don't fall for you. You get blown out. You walk out with your tail between your legs, but you move on. No big deal. But those tough two-point losses where CR had 3 chances at the end of the game to either tie or take the lead. They ended up turning the ball over 2 of those 3 opportunities. They never got the good look that they wanted, and they never got the chance to take the lead. They end up losing by 2, and that's kind of been the story of their season, as stepping into that three-pointer and drilling it is Mazen Butler.
And Butler's their leading three-point shooter, so a good start for him to be able to come down and knock down a three-pointer early on. But, again, like you said, these close games, they start to wear on a team after a while. And I've been impressed that they've been able to hang tough and continue to play hard no matter what. But, Coach Mora, he's got to be frustrated. I mean, his team has been in every single game that they've played, and they could easily be 7-1 right now, probably in the GVC, if they were able to just close out a couple of games and get a few more buckets.
They've had a second-half lead in all but one of their GVC losses this year as Bo Gastineau driving the lane. Floater no good. Rebounded by the Roadrunners. On the break, though, steal by Miller. Miller with a head up the court finds Gastineau. Gastineau to the rim. Kind of that's one of those plays that we talked about with Jane Toohey last game where he adjusted his own body, anticipating the contact instead of just going to the hoop and putting the contact out of your mind. Don't worry about it. Just take your shot as it comes to you. And Gastineau there unable to finish on the easy layup.
And those are the things that are frustrating to a coaching staff. I know you get an easy outlet, fast break, and an easy chance to get to the basket and get 2 points, and you just can't finish. And you have to have those. Those are plays that you have to win the close games. And again, right now, that's why CR not winning these games, because they can't make the easy shots inside. It's just been a struggle for them.
Benton gets that easy one to fall, but he's hit with the offensive foul, so the basket will get waved off the score board, and Chuck Benton will get hit with his first personal foul. So 5 team fouls already against the Corsairs. They trail by a point, 8-7, Butte leading, 15 minutes and 32 seconds on the game clock here in the first half. A couple new subs into the game for the Roadrunners. With it now on the far wing, Tyler Randolph into the hands of Mazen Butler. Butler, deep two-pointer, no good. Chuck Benton there for the rebound. Shaquille Jones on the break. Break picked up by Butler.
It was a good interior pass from Jones to Slade, trying to get the ball inside to, kind of work their inside-out game a little bit. And, a reach-in foul from number 41, Terrence Edwards there. So, again, CR trying to work the ball inside a little bit, maybe open up some of their outside shooters as they have, Justin Miller and Dylan Ingersoll in the game now. So a couple outside shooters, they want to try to work the ball inside out.
Shaquille Jones at the near wing, skip pass to Dylan Ingersoll. Checked into the ball game, no good on that three-point attempt. Ingersoll hit a few huge threes for the Corsairs in their last road trip when they went over to Lassen and Feather River. A long trip in those 2 days when you got to drive all the way over, play a game on Friday and Saturday, and then drive all the way back. It's a good 16 or 17 hours of travel time on those road trips. And all the other teams in the GVC have to come out here only one time.
Yeah.
As hitting the deep two-pointer was Mazen Butler, 5 points for him, 10-7, Butte leading by 3.
Yeah, it's always a disadvantage for CR anytime they go anywhere because they have to travel so far. All the other teams, Butte, Shasta, Feather River, those teams are all close to each other. They're all in the vicinity of each other, so it makes it difficult for CR, definitely at a disadvantage.
Yeah, from Susanville to Quincy, it's about an hour and a half, a little less than 2 hours time. And from Reading to Susanville, same thing, about an hour and a half away. But for us to get out to Susanville, it's about 6 hours or so, 6+ hours.
Well, the closest place to go is Shasta, isn't it? And that's a good 3 hours away. So, you're talking about that's your closest road trip is 3 hours away. That's just crazy. That's crazy that in order for you to go away to play somebody, you have to go at least 3 hours.
Chuck Benton driving the lane. He's able to finish on the easy layup. Nice looking shot by him and a good sign for the Corsairs as they trail by a point, 10-9. But amidst all this talk of conference realignment, you hear so much about it, especially in college football and basketball, the major schools joining other conferences for mostly dollars and cents is the big underlying reason for why teams and schools are joining new conferences. They want better exposure, better TV contracts, better just all-around exposure for their basketball team. But for CR, there's a real possibility that that they could be talking about maybe adjusting some of the conferences and the teams inside and maybe matching up CR with some of those North Bay area teams like Mendocino and the Yubas and other teams kind of in that North Bay region. Not that it would make any travel easier for the Corsairs, but most of the difficulties in travel when you're talking about the winter and difficult months of the year, December, January, when you're traveling a lot and there's all that snow over the mountains, well, you don't really have much problem traveling north and south. And that's something that I heard from assistant coach Barry Mendenhall from the Corsairs, a great point that he made, that there's not really much travel problems going north and south along the 101. Every once in a while there'll be a mudslide or the road will get shut down and you can't travel, but compared to what you're looking at the 299 and the 36 going east and west over the mountains there, so many times there will be games that get snowed out. Now CR had great luck this year, really no travel problems going along that east and west, but very dangerous roads when you're talking about coming home at 1 o'clock in the morning because you had a game that night and you can't afford to stay over, so you try to drive home the same night, and a lot of things could go wrong. So there's some real potential there for some conference realignment as Shaquille Jones on the steal driving the rim here at the other end, whistled, and he will go to the free throw line for a couple of free throw attempts.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Actually, I mean, Humboldt County in general has been very, very fortunate this winter. We really haven't had a winter. It's been cold a little bit, but not really much rain, not really a chance for any real dangers. But, I agree with you. I mean, 299 and Highway 36 are two very dangerous roads to travel. They're dangerous to travel just at night, let alone in the rain or the snow or the fog or whatever it is it might be. And so it's really a disadvantage to CR having to take at least a couple trips over there a year, and everybody else really only having to come over here, like you said, once. And it's very difficult for CR because they continually have to go over there and play Friday, Saturday, and it's tough when you play at this level and you have to play back to back. It's tough. That's a hard thing to do. I don't care how many kids you have or how good a shape you're in. When you have to continue to play back to back, that's a tough road to take.
Terrence Edwards stepping into that one and drilling it. Butte with a 2-point lead. Will Holly Bishop into the game for the Corsairs. No good on that 3-point attempt. Butte leading 12-10, approaching 12 minutes remaining here in this first half. Austin Butler inside, turnaround jump shot. Ural Black is no good. Edwards with the rebound, finding Black slashing down the lane. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Corsairs, so Butte will keep possession. 11:54 on the game clock. The shot clock has reset. But the funny thing is when you hear other coaches and other teams having to complain about travel coming all the way over here, they're not happy with having to make the trip out here. All the teams in the conference are right there. As the easy bucket by Ural Black is good. But when you look at what CR has to do, it literally 3 hours to its closest conference game. It's pretty funny when we, as in Coach Justin Mora and Assistant Coach Barry Mendenhall, hear other coaches complaining about travel.
Right. Yeah. No. It's always funny. It's always funny. Having to listen to other people complain about having to come up to our area. I get that same thing even down at the high school level too. They always talk about it for the NCS football when football starts or comes around, or for basketball once we get into basketball playoffs starting not this upcoming week but the following week after that. Teams always complain, we got to make the trek up to Humboldt County. We have to do this, we have to do that, and it kind of gets irritating and it gets old after a little while because people don't understand that anything that we do here, we have to travel, for hours to go there. It's just ridiculous the amount of complaining, like you said, that some people do about having to come up here when in reality all of our trips are long and it takes us forever to get wherever we're going. So I always kind of laugh at that too. I always think it's funny when they complain about having to come up here, but yet when we go on road trips, our closest road trip, meaning CR here, is again 3 hours away. That's the closest one.
So 14-11, Butte leading CR by 3. Under 11 and a half minutes to go here in this first half. The Corsairs. Slade has his pocket pick. He's able to fight for it, though, and get it back, but Butte able to steal it once again. Now the Corsairs take it back. Slade with it at half court. Bounce pass to Wahali Bishop. Bishop dumps it off to Johnson. Johnson doesn't get a clean handle on it right away. Secures it, goes up with it. Can't finish, though, and I think he's upset with himself. Had an easy look there.
Yeah, it was a great job by Slade to get the ball back after he lost it at half court. He was able to get a steal, get the ball back. He was able to find Bo Gastineau on the right, or Wahali Bishop on the right side, who then dumped it off to Johnson, but he wasn't able to finish underneath the basket. I know, a little upset with himself after that.
Slade now working at the low block, dumps it out to Ingersoll, and the Corsairs will reset. 25 seconds on the shot clock. Gastineau at the top of the key finds Slade. Slade inside to Ingersoll. Ingersoll skip pass outside. Brandon Johnson into the game for CR. Skip pass to Wahali Bishop in the corner. Bishop pump fake, now up with it. Can't get it to go. Johnson, though, tipping the rebound. Still alive. Ball finally secured by the Roadrunners. Kenneth Bell into the ball game for Butte.
And again, those are the struggles for CR. I mean, those are a couple of good, clean looks inside there that they can't finish, and you have to have those if you're a team that struggles scoring offensively, which is what CR is, and you have to have those.
Alley-oop was intended for Euro Black, though. Nicely read by Dylan Ingersoll, able to cut in front and catch it as nobody else was around. Approaching 10 minutes to go, still a 3-point Butte lead. Gastineau looking for space, finds Bishop here at the near wing. Bishop inside to Brandon Johnson. Johnson has the ball taken out of his hands. Jump ball is the whistle.
Looks like they're going to call a reach-in foul here. Looks like that's going to be a reach-in foul on Euro Black. So kind of a break for CR because Brandon Johnson kind of was trying to back down his man, Black, and really didn't have anywhere to go. And Black just kind of reached around and grabbed the forearm of Brandon Johnson. So kind of a bailout for CR there as Johnson will get to go to the line and shoot 1-1 here.
So Johnson to the free throw line. Able to hit on the first one, so the second one coming up. But the story for Johnson this year, I mean, when you look at him and when you watch him play, really a solid all-around basketball player, a freshman for the Corsairs out of Anchorage, Alaska, Bartlett High School, but really a five-tool basketball player. He's got all the skills, but when it comes into those pressure situations and in the ballgame, we've seen it already earlier, a wide-open look dumped off to him, and he tends to rush, tried to go just a little bit too fast, tries to make the shot before he secures the basketball. There's been a number of times where he'll get the pass, he'll be wide open, but just leaves a little bit too early and before he secures the basketball. And I think it's just kind of nerves, and as a steal here by the Corsairs, Ingersoll.
Well, and he's kind of in a tough spot too because he's got to find playing time behind Coney. He's got to find playing time behind Coney and behind Benton, who both have at times this year played really, really well. Obviously, Benton having a big game early on in the season for CR and an overtime win here at home. And then, obviously Coney now a starter, freshman out of Del Norte. So, kind of trying to find playing time for Brandon Johnson, and I think he has struggled a little bit with that, trying to find his place in the lineup. And, also, again, like you said, just a little bit too much pressure, I think, at times on him.
I think it's just a case of him sometimes just trying to do too much.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Just too much, feeling like there's too much pressure on him, like he needs to do something to try to show that he can play with Benton and with Coney, and at times he has just kind of let it get the better of him. I agree with you, like you said, on that last play down there where he had a wide open layup, he kind of fumbled the ball, and it's trying to take the shot before you have the ball. You have to go in rhythm, in step. You have to get the ball and then shoot. So I agree with you in that point.
Gastineau able to hit both of those free throws, ties the game at 14, 9:20 on the game clock here in the first half. Butte with 18 fouls and the Corsairs with 6, so both teams will be in the bonus. Approaching 9 minutes to go. The Corsairs 2-6 in the Golden Valley Conference. 5 of those 6 losses coming by 7 points or less, so they've played in a bunch of close games, just been on the losing end as Terrence Edwards drains that deep two-pointer. 4 points for him and a 2-point Butte lead, 16-14 under 9 minutes to go. Gastineau, wild shot with the right. Johnson there to clean up but can't get the shot to fall. Rebounded by Butte. Roadrunners on the break. In the far corner, it's Earl Black. Now 2-point try, Tyler Randolph into the game for Butte. Offensive rebound by the Roadrunners. 8.5 to go in the first half. A 2-point Butte lead.
And again, there was an opportunity for Johnson as
Mazen Butler steps into that three-pointer, his second of the game. 8 points for him and a 5-point Butte lead, 19-14.
And he's their sharpshooter, so they can't let him get going. You know, they can't let him have any space and get easy shots. But again, there's another opportunity for Johnson there to kind of come away with an opportunity to get an easy putback, and he goes up with his left hand and just kind of throws the ball completely over the rim. So, you know, again, maybe trying to do too much, maybe not really squaring his body up, but, you know, Johnson really needs to come through here and make some big buckets, especially if he's going to get playing time, because Coney and Benton both have 2 fouls early in this first half.
When you watch Johnson in the pregame, or when you watch him just shooting around when he's relaxed in his comfort zone, he's one of the best basketball players out on the court, but tends to kind of tense up in the course of a game and not really make the plays that you need to, or you need to be able to rely on your players to make, to leave him out there. As Johnson now taking a seat, and Chuck Benton back into the ball game for the Corsairs, who trail by 5, 19-14, approaching 8 minutes to go in this first half. Justin Miller finding Gastineau here at the near wing. Benton out for a screen. Gastineau through the lane, finding a wide open James Slade. Too deep on that three-point attempt. Rebound pulled down by Butte. It was Mason Prowse pulling it down. Mazen Butler at the other end. A whistle and a foul against the Corsairs. It's on Shaquille Jones, his first personal, 7th team foul. Have to see if the shot was shooting or if it was a 1-and-1. Looks like he was shooting on the foul. So 2 free throw attempts coming up here for Mazen Butler. Leading scorer once again for the Roadrunners this season. Good on his first attempt. That's 9 points for him.
Yeah, and he's been pretty impressive so far. He's got a good-looking shot. He rises up. He's got a good follow-through. You know, hit a couple three-pointers already here today. I believe he's their leading scorer at about 12.5 points, I think, if I remember looking before. So, again, a very dangerous player for Butte, and I've been impressed with his play so far in the first, 12 minutes of this game.
10 points for him. He's a 65% free throw shooter, averaging 12.4 points per game. Gastineau, tough shot for him, able to get it to drop. 4 points for Bo Gastineau. 5-point Butte lead, 21-16. The Roadrunners on top. About at the other end, Coney pump fake, now up with it, can't get it to fall. And a couple free throw attempts. Good foul by Butte. They're not allowing the easy layup, but a poor job by Jalen Coney just going up to try to finish that shot right away.
Yeah. Well, he was under the basket too far, ended up hitting the bottom of the backboard with that attempt there. But again, these are the problems for CR. You can't hit a three-pointer like Ingersoll did to bring it within 5 and then turn around and turn the ball over 2 times in a row down the floor and give up easy layups. It goes from being a 5-point to a 9-point like that before you can even blink. And now again, CR has to climb back out of a deep hole. And Coach Mora, he's working, he's trying to pump his guys up, but it has to be disheartening for him to have just the same thing happen to you every game over and over and over.
Coney able to hit his second free throw. 8 points now for Jalen Coney, as Chuck Benton will check into the ball game and Coney will take a seat. So the Corsairs now trying to apply some defensive pressure, calling on the full court press. Miller and Benton trying to trap in the far corner. Butler with it now, evading the defenders. 1-on-3 as Butler keeping the dribble alive. Now the Roadrunners will reset. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Butte leading CR 44-36. About 14 minutes to go. Gastineau on the steal. A couple of guys chasing. Earl Black, the defender, able to get up and contest that shot. Ball out of bounds. Last touch by the Corsairs. Tough break there.
Coach Moore not happy with that call. He thought there was a lot more contact with Bo Gastineau, but again, Gastineau not very tall, one of the shorter players on the floor, and Butte very athletic, have some big, tall, long players, were able to get back on defense and block that shot pretty easily against Gastineau, and then it went off of his foot out of bounds.
Gastineau and Butler kind of getting into it with each other, carrying over out of bounds, and Gastineau kind of eyeing him, and as once again, Gastineau a very feisty player. Both of them chippy as well, but referees are going to have to keep a close eye on this one. Gastineau's got to be very careful. He's got 3 personal fouls already. This last foul is going to go against Butte. It looks like foul is going to be called on Earl Black, and that's going to be his second personal. So the Corsairs will take the ball out of bounds, trailing by 8, 44-36. Butte leading, about 13.5 minutes to go. Gastineau looking for help, finds Miller at the far wing. Benton calling for the ball, gets it, but has it knocked loose. Now takeaway by Earl Black.
There's a lot of contact there, but they didn't call a foul, and Coach Moore not very happy. I mean, Benton's got to be stronger with the ball. He's going to be a post player. He's got to be stronger with the ball there. As Butte
breakdown defensively, wide open look for Terrence Edwards under the basket. He can't finish the layup attempt, but then a battle for the rebound. A whistle against the Corsairs is a foul, so Butte will keep possession. But Coach Mora once again shaking his head, and that has been the facial expression of this season.
Yeah, it was a bad sequence. I'm kind of disappointed because I think Chuck Benton is a great player, but he really let his emotions get the better of him in that sequence because offensively he had the ball stolen from him. He didn't hustle back on defense. Once he got back on defense, he didn't know who he was guarding. He turned his back to the ball. Number 41, Terrence Edwards on Butte was able to turn around and get an easy layup, which he blew. Because I think that he was waiting for the defender to come and it never came. He blew the layup, was able to get his own rebound, go back up again, missed that shot, was able to get his rebound, go back up again and missed that shot again, and then Benton just came flying in over the top and just crawled up his back trying to get an off defensive rebound, and the type of play that has really plagued CR this entire season. Disappointing because I'm a big Chuck Benton fan. I think he's a good player. I think he's a great athlete. I think he's got a good shot. I think he's got a good work ethic. He's very physical. He's fast. But, really a bad lack of judgment on that sequence there as he got the ball stolen and then really didn't come down and make much of an effort on the defensive end and then picked up a silly foul. So, Coach Mora getting after him a little bit in that timeout. Hopefully we can see a little bit different attitude out of CR as we come out of this break because 13 minutes left is a lot of time, like we said in the women's game, even though CR did pull ahead and ended up winning. CR can still make a comeback here for the men. They can still get back into this game and make it close if they continue to get good shots on the offensive end.
Trail by 8 with just under 13 minutes to go. Randolph along the baseline finding Edwards. Edwards can't finish the shot. Tipped it by Earl Black was no good. Rebounded by the Corsairs. 44-36, Butte leading under 13 minutes to go. Benton just picked up his third personal foul. Jones, Gastineau, Slade, and Benton all with 3 personal fouls as Benton able to finish on that one. Makes it 7 points for Chuck Benton. 44-38, CR trails by 6. Edwards back out to Randolph. Randolph rattles in the three-pointer, his first three-pointer of the day. 7 points for Tyler Randolph, all here in the second half. 47-38, Butte leading. Gastineau along the baseline finds Benton. Contact, whistle against the Roadrunners, and 1-and-1 free throws coming up here for Chuck Benton as Darius Jones got hit with a foul. His third personal, 7th team foul against the Roadrunners. So if anything for CR, they've got the foul advantage here in this second half. They'll be shooting free throws from here on out. Butte head coach Russ Critchfield not happy with the call and not happy with the foul disparity here in this second half, as we saw both teams with over 13 fouls in the first half. Now here in the second, CR with only 3 and Butte with 7 as James Slade checks back into the game and Brandon Johnson will take a seat.
Well, I understand, Coach Critchfield not being very happy with the foul disparity, but at the same time, Butte really has been very handsy, I guess is the word you want to use here in this game. They reach in quite a bit, and they go after the steals, and when you do that, you're going to get hit with some fouls. So
Benton 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He hit both attempts there. 10 points for Chuck Benton, and a 47-39 lead for Butte, an 8-point advantage under 12 minutes to go. Into the ball game for Butte is Aaron Dalton with it now slipping on the court. And a quick timeout taken by Russ Critchfield, a 30-second timeout. Butte head coach.
Yeah, and, I like the defensive intensity that CR is bringing right now. They gave up a three-pointer on their last possession, I know, but as far as making the effort and trying to be aggressive and get steals, trying to trap in the backcourt, trying to full-court press, I like the strategy. I like the intensity. I mean, Coach Mora has to do something to get his team going. I mean, they have to do something to find some fire, find some energy, and usually the best way to get your team fired up and get them moving at the pace you want them at is to press, is to pick up the tempo of the game. I know Coach Moore is a tempo guy. He likes to push the tempo. He likes to fast break. But at the same time, you have to do it under control. And so I think by him going to his full court press, he's really trying to get his team to get out, get some easy buckets early, and try to find their offensive rhythm, which, I mean, again, they're only down by 7. So if they can get a stop here, go back down and score, you get right back in this ball game pretty quickly.
Roadrunners on the inbounds pass. Terrence Edwards fouled, bucket, and the potential three-point play coming up as the foul is on Slade. That's his 4th personal. The basket is good by Terrence Edwards. 6 points for him, and a potential three-point play here to give Butte a 10-point lead with about 11 and a half minutes to go here in this second half. Edwards' free throw attempt is good. 7 points for him. And a 30-second timeout as the shot clock didn't start on the possession there.
It looks like the game clock didn't start either. Maybe either not working or just, there it is, it's working now. They just didn't get a chance to start it. Kind of surprised. I mean, Slade is still in this game right now. He's got 4 personal fouls. Coach Moore really rolling the dice here, taking a big gamble. We'll see if it pays off, but I might take Slade out, give him at least a couple minutes before you put him back in, because if you lose him now, that's a pretty big loss for at least a good quarter of the game.
Backdoor pass from Ingersoll to Shaquille Jones. Great assist from Ingersoll. Nice finish by Jones. A 9-point Butte lead, 50-41, approaching 11 minutes to go here in this second half. Aaron Dalton working against Shaquille Jones. Randolph now in the far corner looking for help. Randolph's pass intended for Edwards. Tipped out of bounds. Looked like Wahali Bishop might have got a hand on that one. So Butte will keep possession. 50-41, the Roadrunners leading. 11:03 on the game clock. Inbounds pass now, 2-point try. Earl Black, and he rattles it in.
Tell you what, I've been impressed by Butte offensively so far in this game. They've got a couple kids that can shoot. They've been able to knock down some wide open jumpers. Really impressed by their ability to shoot, at least from the outside right now, just inside the 2-point line, and then also at the 3-point line as well.
Slade 3-point attempt, no good. 9-point lead for Butte, 52-41. Just over 10 and a half minutes to go. 2-point try by Black is no good. Ball tipped out of bounds. Another tough break for the Corsairs as they had 2 players there battling for the rebound. They can't control it, and the Roadrunners will keep possession. As a couple new subs check into the ball game. Jalen Coney will check in. Justin Miller will check in. Ingersoll as well as Bishop will take a seat. 10:30 on the game clock. 52-41, an 11-point Butte lead. Nice transition pass from Miller ahead to Slade. Slade to the rim. Offensive interference. Goaltending is the call, so the basket will count. Makes it a 9-point lead.
Yeah, kind of a silly move to make there on Butte's part. They just kind of went up. I'm not sure who that was. That might have been number 22, Darius Jones, or number 41, Terrence Edwards. I couldn't tell on the number, but they went up and just grabbed the rim. Not a good move because it looked like Slade actually missed that layup when he went up. So not a good move to grab the rim there and give CR an easy 2 points.
52-43, Butte leads by 9, 10 minutes to go. Randolph into the hands of Dalton. Dalton now a 3-point attempt. Can't get it to go, but there for the offensive rebound is Randolph, who puts it in the hands of Darius Jones, Earl Black, who finishes that shot. 10 points for him and an 11-point Butte lead, 54-43.
And again, just poor boxing out on the part of CR there. They were able to force a tough shot with the shot clock winding down and nobody boxed out. Butte able to get an easy offensive rebound and an easy putback. So, again, Coach Mora, you have to be happy with your defensive effort but upset with your rebounding effort.
Shaquille Jones able to get that shot off, fouled on the play. Whistle against Darius Jones, and that's going to be his 4th personal. So a break there for the Corsairs, as Jones will most likely have to come out of the ball game. Jones, a starter for the Roadrunners, a great defensive presence. He's also got 6 points in this game. As Shaquille Jones to the free throw line. Jones hit a 3-pointer in the first half, but he's been pretty quiet today. Only 8 points for Jones. And kind of holding his right wrist there, which you see taped up.
Yeah, he came down pretty hard when he went up for that jump shot over there and he got fouled. So he might have maybe came down awkwardly on that right wrist. Might be a little sore. We've seen him have that wrist taped up pretty much all season long. So it could be something that we'll have to keep an eye on for the rest of this game. Might be bothering him just a little bit.
Jones missing on both free throw attempts. He's now 1 of 4 from the line. The Corsairs have struggled from the line in this game. They trail by 11, 54-43. Roadrunners able to break the press, and now they'll set up. About 9 minutes on the game clock, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Randolph here at the near wing gets it back to Butler. Butler over to Kenneth Bell, who's recently checked into the game. Now Butler all the way down Broadway. Easy left-handed layup. Critchfield knew the easy opportunity he had there. A little bit upset, I think his player didn't finish the attempt.
Yeah, he had a pretty clear lane. Did Butler there to get to the basket, and he wasn't able to finish. So I know Coach Critchfield probably not happy, or fairly easy and one opportunity that they were not able to finish, but at least Butler's going to get a couple free throws out of it.
And I think he'll be a lot less unhappy and a lot more pleased to hear that Shaquille Jones now taking a seat on the bench with 4 personal fouls.
Yeah.
So he may not have gotten the easy opportunity to finish like he wanted to for Maz and Butler, but at least they gave Jones his 4th personal foul. Jones is the leading scorer for the Corsairs, and he's currently on the bench right now under 9 minutes to go in a 13-point Butte lead, 56-43. Bo Gastineau back into the ball game, working out the near wing behind the back dribble, finds Justin Miller, 21 seconds on the shot clock. Miller off the screen from Benton, tries to find Coney. Ball deflected. Now Miller gets it back. Step back 2-point try is good. Justin Miller, only his 3rd field goal of the game. He's got 6 points. And CR trails by 11. Full timeout taken down on the court. 56-45. Butte leading, 8:31 on the game clock. And this is a perfect opportunity to talk a little bit more about this Redwoods Youth Basketball Association AAU League coming up. So for all of you at home, have youngsters watching the broadcast either on Access Humboldt Channel 8 or online at redwoods.edu. For those youngsters out there who want to get involved here with this College of the Redwoods basketball program, an AAU League is coming up just for you. Boys and girls, 5 divisions, 10 and under, 12 and under, 14 and under, JV and varsity. It all goes down, or all starts March 26th. So if you're interested, give Coach Mendenhall a call at 707-476-4245. We'll get you signed up and get you playing some basketball here in the off season. As Coach Maynard is well aware, you've been a part of the AAU program. It's a pretty unique deal. It's a pretty fun thing to be a part of.
Yeah, and I actually may even be a part of it this season. I've had a couple people come talk to me since basketball has ended last week, talking about the possibility and the opportunity to have a team in this CR league and possibly do a little bit of traveling. So it's something we'll be looking into, and I'll be getting a hold of Coach Mendenhall here shortly, talking to him, trying to find out some details and get some things set up. But probably in another week or so, hopefully we'll maybe have a team together and get some practice going and then get back into the gym. Seems like it's a never-ending thing for me. I never have more than a week off at any given point.
Well, I'm sure with all the attention that you're getting from these broadcasts, you must have coaches calling you left and right trying to get you on board to head the AAU program or to coach a team of any kind. I mean, your phone's just got to be ringing off the hook.
I get a lot of attention. I get a lot of people all the time tell me, hey, did I hear you on TV the other day? Did I hear you doing the CR games? I said, yeah, that was me. And so I get recognized quite a bit where I go, and I mean I've been quite into the basketball scene and the baseball scene for quite a while, whether it was refereeing or umpiring or playing or coaching. So a lot of people know my whereabouts around here. I don't really get to hide out very much.
Well, 59-46. Butte leading by 13. Now a steal by the Corsairs. Slade, though, can't control it. Butte able to finally take control. The shot clock doesn't reset, though. CR didn't get possession, so 17 seconds on the shot clock. Whistle is going to be against Slade, and if it is, which it is, that's his 5th personal. So Slade just fouled out of this ball game.
Yeah, and kind of a silly foul by Slade. Really, there was no opportunity for Butte to score on that play, and he kind of just bailed out Butler, who was kind of falling out of bounds almost, and he picked up number 5. So not really a good foul for Slade. If you're going to pick up your 5th foul, you really want to make it count. You know, you want to earn your 5th foul, and I don't really think Slade earned his 5th foul there, though. So a little disappointing for him, I'm sure.
6th team foul against the Corsairs. Butte has 8 team fouls. Both teams now in the bonus. Mazen Butler, leading scorer for the Roadrunners coming into today. His first field goal of the second half, 12 points for him. And a 15-point Butte lead, 61-46. Whistle and a foul against the Roadrunners on number 34, Josh Rolls Tyson, his 3rd personal, 9th team foul against the Roadrunners. So 1-and-1 free throws coming up here for Jalen Coney. His team trailing by 15, 7:19 on the game clock.
Yeah, but again, just 7 minutes left. I mean, there's still some time left in this game, but really just kind of another lackluster performance so far for CR. They really just can't put more than a couple minutes together at a time. You know, they can't go on any big runs. They just don't have that firepower. So, we'll have to see, how they finish this game, and that'll really lead into Wednesday's matchup against Shasta and how hard they're going to play going into that final game.
Butler dishing it off, now getting it back and resetting. 20 seconds on the shot clock, 7 minutes on the game clock. Randolph backdoor pass to Butler, up strong with it, can't finish. Rebound tipped out of bounds, last touched by Butte, so the Corsairs will take over. 6:57 on the game clock, a 13-point Butte lead, 61-48. The atmosphere pretty quiet here at College of the Redwoods, and kind of a unique situation as Chuck Benton losing control, finding Jalen Coney. Can't get the shot to fall, though, but more fans in attendance for the women's game here at the College of the Redwoods than the fans who stick around for the men's game. Now, not to get in the whole gender role and talk about which basketball is better and yada yada, but it's not too often that you see the exciting women's basketball being played here for College of the Redwoods, a packed house, and then for the men's game, it kind of clears out a little bit. You don't see that too often.
Well, and again, I think it's the style of play. It's the feel-good story. You have a team in the women's program that won 1 game last year. They haven't won a league title in 31 years. They only have 6 players. They're all local. That helps. People like to see the local players do well, but they only have 6 players. They're playing at a high level. They run up and down the floor. They press. They shoot threes, and that's what people love to see. It's about entertainment. And unfortunately right now, fortunately for the women, but unfortunately for the men, the women are just more entertaining right now. I mean, they run and gun, they shoot threes, they press, they get steals, they fast break, and people like to see that. People like to see underdogs do well. They like to see a team with only 6 players do well. And then it's excitement. It's, again, 31 years not winning a league title. I mean, that's what people want to see. They want to see how they do. And unfortunately, in the end, it really does come down to winning. And the women's team is winning right now, and the men's team is not. And that's just the way that it is. And so people want to come to see their team win.
61-50, Butte leading, driving the lane. But no good on the 2-point attempt was Kenneth Bell, rebounded by the Corsairs. Miller with it now along the baseline, taking the contact, finishing the shot. Justin Miller, potential 3-point play, and a little bit of boost of momentum, a charge here late in the second half. 5:48 on the game clock. As the foul is on Josh Rolls Tyson, number 34, his 4th personal foul, 10th team foul against Butte, as a couple new subs check into the game. Rolls Tyson, as well as Mason Prowse, checking out for the Roadrunners. So Justin Miller Chance to complete the three-point play, and he does. Makes it an 8-point game, 61-53.
A little bit of a spark here for the CR men's basketball team if they can get back into it. Good defensive pressure here.
And I don't think that was exactly the good defensive pressure that they wanted. As at the other end, Terrence Edwards, an uncontested dunk.
Yeah.
9 points for him and a 10-point Butte lead.
And again, they come down, they get the three-point play. They get a pretty decent trap at half court. They're just not able to finish it.
Shaquille Jones can't get that shot to fall. Rebounded by the Roadrunners' Ural Black, who dribbles across the half-court line. Black still with it. Now finds Randolph, and the Roadrunners will reset. Approaching 5 minutes to go. Butte leading by 10, 63-53. Corsairs had just 24 points at halftime. 19 points here in this second half through the first 16 minutes. So they've been on a pretty poor offensive pace all game as Butler can't get that three-point attempt to go. Long offensive rebound, though, brought in by Ural Black. Whistle down on the court. Timeout taken by Russ Critchfield, the Butte head coach.
And again, see, you know, it's difficult because I talk so highly about, you know, Miller coming down and getting the three-point play and bringing CR within, 8 points. You know, and then it was just a lack of defensive intensity. I mean, they did a good job getting the trap at half court, but they didn't rotate back. They only had one guy back. It was a 3-on-1 situation. They make one pass, and Terrence Edwards gets an uncontested dunk, which after a three-point play, giving up an uncontested dunk like that really takes the wind out of your sails. I mean, you do everything you can to fight back into the game. You turn around and you give up an uncontested dunk, and it just really takes the wind out of your sails. And right now, again, a 10-point deficit for CR. You know, a little over 4.5 minutes left to play. Again, there's still a lot of time, but as offensively bad as you have been throughout this season, it makes coming back a very difficult thing to do because you can only get so many stops. I mean, you're not going to stop a team every single time down the floor. You have to go down and get the best shot that you can get and try to score points or get to the free throw line. And right now, just being a casual fan or watching CR, they struggle too much with that, and I just don't know if they have the firepower to be able to come back and win a game like this.
They trail by 10, 63-53, 4:42 remaining. Not much time, but still time, as crazier things have happened here at College of the Redwoods. Edwards on the inbounds pass goes to work against Benton, loses the handle. Gastineau with it now, crossing half court. Dribble through the legs, trying to get to the rim. Now dumps it off, has the pass deflected by Kenneth Bell out of bounds. CR will keep possession, 4:31 on the game clock. 28 seconds on the shot clock. Gastineau looking for Miller. Can't get it to him, though. Benton now step back three-pointer, and Benton drills it. Actually, a deep two-pointer. They're going to say he had his foot on the line. Morris saying, what are you doing? We're pressing. Is Benton dropping back on defense?
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, I'm sure Coach Moore in the timeouts is telling his team we're pressing on made baskets and everything like that, and to just kind of have a mental lapse like that and not come up and put pressure, I just don't understand that. I don't understand the mindset of not understanding. I don't understand how Benton doesn't understand the situation. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Jones along the baseline, up to the rim, can't get the layup to fall. Battle for the rebound, pulled in by Tyler Randolph. Randolph trapped in the corner. Lucky's able to get the pass off. And Butte crossing half court in time. Still holding a 10-point lead, 65-55. The Roadrunners will look to take down full shot clock on every possession from here on out.
And every time CR has made a run in this game to try to get it back to 5, back to 7, whatever it may be, Butte has had an answer, and that's been the difference so far.
4 seconds on the shot clock. Turnaround jump shot is no good. Shaquille Jones on the rebound. Corsairs pushing the tempo. Jones now. Gastineau, far corner, three-point try, no good. Edwards battling with Bishop for the rebound. Bishop, good sportsmanship over to help up Terrence Edwards. Edwards listed at 6'4" on the roster, but he looks much bigger than that down on the court.
Yeah, he's a very thick guy. He's very very bulky looking. He's definitely very athletic. We saw it on the dunk down there. He's had a couple good post moves inside. So Edwards has definitely impressed me in this game. I think that he's played very well up until this point. Uses athleticism very well, gotten a couple easy buckets, and obviously that easy dunk. So far he is really kind of, especially on the defensive end and on the offensive end, his offensive rebounding and things like that has been a key part to Butte keep maintaining this lead.
A couple free throw attempts there by Holly Bishop. No good, so the 10-point lead will stand as Mazen Butler driving to the rim, whistle, the foul, and the bucket is good. So and one for Mazen Butler, fighting through the contact there. His foul is on number 34, Wahali Bishop, his first personal, 7th team foul against the Corsairs. Count the basket as Mazen Butler now with 18 points. Chance to give his team a 13-point lead with 2:50 to go. Butler finishing now with 19, 68-55, Butte leading by 13. Bishop thought about the three-pointer, then thought better of it, giving it back to Jones. Jones working off the screen by Benton to the lane. Soft shot is no good, and Jones a bit slow to get up.
Yeah, he's taken a few hits going to the basket tonight so far, and he kind of got caught up there. Was able to get back up and is going to shoot the free throws, but he's been getting hit hard every time he goes to the basket. Kind of fearless, one of those fearless players every time he tries to get to the rim and attack the paint.
A player that's gotten some four-year attention as well when we were over at Shasta, and then as well as in Feather River and in Quincy, but Simpson University, which is located right there in Reading, just up the street from Shasta Junior College, showing some interest in Shaquille Jones. So he's getting some looks from some four-year universities. We'll have to see how it all pans out for him as he's able to hit both free throw attempts. 10 points now for Shaquille Jones. 2 of 4 from the free throw line here in this second half. An 11-point Butte lead, 68-57, and about 2.5 minutes to go. Tyler Randolph crossing half court. Back to Mazen Butler. A dangerous pass there, well overthrown. Out of bounds, careless turnover. As an opportunity here as the Corsairs quickly running out of time. 2:29 on the game clock. CR doesn't have time. They've got to go to work right away as Shaquille Jones looks like he's going to try to get to the rim. Puts his head down, now finding Chuck Benton at the low block. Benton shielding off the defender with his body. Nice use of his size down there. That low block just can't get the shot to fall. Fouls on Ural Black, his third personal. Or he's checked that, his fourth personal for Black. Has Benton to the free throw line once again. He's got 14 in this ball game. 5 of 5 from the line in the second half. Make that